A military court has sentenced a former president, Joseph Kabila, to death in absentia on charges of treason, M23 involvement and crimes against humanity, among others. Kabila, who has denounced the trial, was also accused of plotting to overthrow President Felix Tshisekedi. Since late 2023, the ex-head of state has mostly resided in South Africa, but in May, he appeared in rebel-held Goma in eastern DRC. Kabila became president in January 2001 after the assassination of his father, Laurent Desire Kabila, and ruled the DRC until 2019. Previously, he served in the Alliance of Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Congo, which looked to overthrow dictator Joseph Mobutu, who ruled over what was then Zaire. Our correspondent Chris Ochamringa joins us live now from Kinshasa with details. Chris, what more can you tell us about the verdict against former President Kabila?
Yeah, so the military court has found former President Joseph Kabila guilty of treason, war crimes, sexual assault, torture, and a number of other offenses, like you mentioned. And they're saying that the prosecution provided sufficient evidence to link former President Joseph Kabila to this insurrection movement, which is the M23 rebel group. The judge said that they had some evidence presented in court, which was an audio recording of a phone conversation between former President Joseph Kabila and Kone Nanga, who is the leader of the political wing of the M23 rebel group, the Alliance Fleuve Congo. And they're saying in that conversation they heard the two men planning to assassinate the president of the DRC, Felix Tshisekedi. They're saying that was very clear. They also said that they had evidence of funds that came from former President Joseph Kabila's account to support the M23 rebels in carrying out the activities in North and South Kivu province. The judge said that a former president is supposed to be a patriotic leader who carries himself with dignity, and the fact that this evidence was presented against him proved beyond any doubt that he was part of this rebel movement that has caused a lot of killings in eastern DRC, and that is why they sentenced him to death. Now, pretty much all the charges that were leveled against Joseph Kabila were approved by the judge, save for one charge, which is the charge of espionage. The prosecution had wanted the court to add that charge of espionage, saying that Joseph Kabila is not a Congolese citizen. They were saying he's a Rwandan. His real name is Hippolyte Kanambe. They were saying that he was adopted by a former Congolese president, Laurent Desire Kabila. He was not his biological son, and that's how he ended up getting that name. But they did not provide enough evidence, and that was rejected by the court. So that is what has happened right now. Many people are taking in this information in different ways, and we're waiting to see what will happen in the days ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about those reactions, Chris. What's coming out so far from Kabila's party and allies?
Well, leaders of his party, the People's Party for Reconstruction and Democracy, have said that this ruling is a disgrace to the DRC. They have maintained their position that this case was politically motivated. It was not grounded on sound legal practices, and they were saying that this was pretty much a witch hunt, persecution for a leader who had come out to speak openly against the governance of President Felix Tshisekedi. He condemned some of the things that have been happening during this tenure of President Tshisekedi, especially after he went to the eastern city of Goma in May this year, where he was seen moving around with the leaders of the M23 rebel group. He addressed the nation saying that he left this country united, and President Tshisekedi has mismanaged the country, and that is why this conflict has happened. So that is what really people from his party are saying, that this is a very sad day for the DRC.
And Chris, Kabila has been tried in absentia, so what's expected next?
Well, the court said that he is supposed to face immediate arrest. So what we expect is that the DRC government will now call on some of the countries that it has extradition treaties with to get him arrested and bring him here so that he faces these charges. They're also going to call on Interpol and other partners around the world to get him arrested. But this is going to be a very tall order, because we're talking about a former president of a country. He's a very wealthy man. He has friends who are leaders around the region, the entire Great Lakes region and beyond. And so it's going to be very hard. We have seen leaders who are sitting presidents or former presidents who have been condemned by the International Criminal Court. But